Welcome back to the KIX 96.5 morning show. Tonight at the Warehouse Gastro Pub in Sheridan, Parmalee is kicking off WyoJam 2023. They're taking the stage at 10:30 tonight, and you can still get tickets at wyojam.com. We're excited to have lead singer of Parmalee, Matt Thomas, on the show. First, Matt, thanks so much for coming on.
Hey, thanks for having me. We're excited, man. About to head that way here real soon.
Yeah, we're taping this Wednesday afternoon. You guys have a busy couple days. Grand Ole Opry tonight. How cool is that?
Yeah. It's awesome, man. You know, it never gets old. I'm still as nervous as I was the first time, I think. I mean, it's a unique experience, man. It's awesome, actually.
Yeah, what makes it so nervous? The mystique, the crowd, the history, what?
Everything, you know, because you imagine all those amazing, musicians and artists that have been across that stage, and here we are, just a band of, 4 riffraff dudes from Parmalee that started a band, and now we get to play on the Opry stage, you know.
Yeah, it's crazy. They're at the Grand Ole Opry, which was last night, Wednesday. They're in Sheridan tonight. They're in Canada on Friday.
Yeah.
They're covering some miles this week. You just mentioned it, four dudes. I mean, if you're not familiar with Parmalee, your brother's the drummer, your cousin Barry's in the band, Josh is the guitarist. I mean, Barry's the bassist. It's crazy. Do you guys still get along?
Surprisingly well. You'd be surprised. I mean, we still hang out together. Like, we had a day off and everybody's hanging out, just barbecuing, and just, I don't know, man. I feel like we didn't have success until later on in our career. We went through so much together in the trenches while we were broke and struggling, that we just went through so much crap that most people would never make it through, that there's this kind of, I don't know, we just kind of know each other, and we get along for the most part. You know, I mean, obviously it's family and everybody has their quirks, but at this point you just learn when to move right when somebody else is moving left, or just don't even be there.
Well, and you know everybody's quirks now. You mentioned it. Lots of sacrifices. How hard was it to break in? Because you guys were kind of rockers. You don't look like the typical country band. Tell us about it, Matt.
Well, we were always aspiring to be a band, a rock and roll kind of band, but we grew up in the country, and we always had that background. And it's just, we tried it. We just couldn't fit in a box, you know, and it was really cool the way where country had gotten to a point where when Jason Aldean and Eric Church had kind of come in and put a little rock and roll in country, it gave us a little leeway to squeeze in there. It's just, timing has a lot to do with everything. But yeah, we were a band, you know, we started in 2001. So, you know, we didn't get signed until 2011. So 10 years before we even got a record deal, much less any success or a hit, you know, we were just out there scuffling, trying to play weekends and do what we could to pay for the band, to be the band. But, you know, we weren't out there doing cover songs. We were doing our own music and our own thing. And it just, it's just, man, so many stories and so many just crazy, crazy things. But, you know, we didn't give up. We just kept going, and we find one positive thing that might be that this producer wants to work with you, or you can meet this guy at this label if you go do this. And we would just go after those things constantly, you know, put it all on credit cards, borrow money if we had to, whatever.
Yeah, do whatever. Follow your dream. I mean, you were bouncing around from New York to L.A. I read where you guys worked with Nikki Sixx in 2006.
Yeah, we did, man. We were out in L.A. trying to figure out what our next move was, and we got tied up with the guy that produced some of Nicky's records and called him in to write with us, and he co-produced and wrote some songs. It was awesome, man. I mean, you know, him walking into the room is like, you know, somebody you've seen as a kid growing up, like on TV all the time. It's like, whoa, this is real. This is crazy, you know. Yeah. But you know, and it's funny, that trip was where we played some music for some of the execs out there, and they were like, you guys sound like you need to be in Nashville. So that was kind of the start of the trip for us getting out here. Long, crazy journey. We're working on some type of documentary thing right now that we really
Yeah, you guys should be. We're chatting with Matt from Parmalee. Go check them out, parmaleemusic.com. They're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, Pandora, YouTube. They're everywhere. Go and check them out. They're going to be in Sheridan, Wyoming tonight at WyoJam. They're taking the stage at 10:30. Go and get your tickets now at wyojam.com. 10 years since Carolina went #1.
Isn't that crazy? That's what we're celebrating tonight at the Opry, too. It's like, I mean, we wrote that song in 2007, so it goes back even further than that. So that, take that in the fact that's the song we were searching for. That was the sound we were digging around for so long trying to do it. But we had that song and we still couldn't get a record deal. Everybody that we played the song for, they didn't know what to do with it, because at that time it wasn't country enough for them, or wasn't rock enough or pop enough. They were like, I don't know what to do with it, until we came to Nashville and we re-recorded it, and we just and that's the version you hear right now. So, man, what a crazy story behind that song. And I'll tell the story, but there's an interesting story I'm going to tell at the show about the song and how it came about. And I've been telling the story every night, and it's been amazing to see the connection on that thing. But you got to come to the show if you want to hear the story.
Yeah, come to the show to hear the whole story about Carolina. Well, I mean, how did life change? It had to. I mean, now you have a number one hit.
Oh, dramatically. Mostly, we finally got paying gigs.
Yeah.
I mean, really, we finally were able to literally make a paycheck playing music. And that's the first time in 10 years we've been able to do that. Or actually, from that point, it was how many years? Yeah. We'd started, it's 12 years since we started the band. That was the very first time we were able to say, okay, we can go on tour and support ourselves, and obviously get a tour bus instead of driving around the van and whatever SUV we had. So that was probably the biggest difference. And, for our parents, I think that was the biggest thing ever, because they watched us just struggle for years and years trying to make it. And they were able to have that accolade as just as much as us, because, they supported us. I'm sure all their friends back home were like, when are the boys going to quit? Are they crazy? They had to go to church with that. And some old lady's going to say, are they ever going to make it?
Exactly. But when are they going to give this crap up? It's nonsense.
Well, it's just small towns. If they don't see you on The Voice, then you're not, or American Idol, then you haven't made it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I saw where Josh, like a year ago, said that Carolina is still his favorite song. I mean, you guys still love the song. You're not like, crap, that's old news.
It never gets old. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I've not played it enough for it to get old, which I hope it never gets old. I mean, because there's so much. What that song did for us was, I mean, it was the song. It'll always be the song, and no matter how. And now we have, with our main touring rig, we have video behind us. We do this throwback video of all the pictures of us coming up, and it's kind of like a nostalgic kind of thing now. So, I hope it never gets old. I really do. But if I could write 5 or 6 more of those, we'd really be set, right?
Yeah, exactly. You could be retiring. You're in great shape, Matt. How do you do it? What's your regiment?
Man, well, first, I mean, you got to you just can't eat everything on the road. It's so hard. After show pizza's there, you got to either just eat the toppings or just say no to it. I mean, it's a lot of it's diet, low carbs for the most part, all the time, 90% of the time. And then, but really, I just go. I don't like, I don't wait on I don't have to find a gym. I don't wait on this. I don't prepare this. I'm like, if it's clear skies outside of the bus, I'm going to go run somewhere. I'm going to find a park. I can do all my workouts, body weight, stuff like that. But it's really of like not procrastinating and just getting it done. And even if you're hungover or if you stayed up late, you just got to find that time and just say, go for it, man. Because it'll catch up with you real quick on the road.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're not drinking 8 beers like me. What are we drinking?
Hold on. All right. I'll take you back. Now, we were the Busch Light Kings for a long time. It was Busch Light and Crown Royal. That was the go-to.
Well, there you go.
And look, nothing wrong with that. I loved it. We did it for years, and you look back and we look like blowfish because our heads were You really just tequila now, man. Tequila with a little lime, and that's really been a game changer, to be honest with you. Less headaches and more energy and just less bloated.
Yeah. You mentioned the pictures for Carolina. There's got to be one of the 83 Laredo. This has been with you forever. How's the restoration going?
It's going great. They started sending me pictures, man, and I had that thing. I had sent it to somebody in North Carolina, and the guy he completely screwed me over. In hindsight, to anybody out there listening, go to the people that get it done right, and just understand you're going to have to pay up for it. I'd nickel and dimed as much as I possibly could. And this guy ended up getting me for a little bit here and there and would send me pictures of just classic example. Take it to the guy, try to save a couple bucks, and you end up getting screwed in the long run. So I have it with the right people. I'm excited. I really do want to get this. I got to go through the archives. The first video we ever did, we had that Jeep in the video, and then you can search the one now that's online. If you search Parmalee Must Have Had a Good Time original video, you'll see where we put it in my pool.
Yeah, in the pool.
Yeah, well, it didn't have water in it. Obviously, it was the pool. Yeah. The storm had come and ripped the pool up, so we were like, let's just put the Jeep in it, and then.
Well, it's crazy. You say on your Instagram that you guys used to travel in it, and then there's a hilarious picture of your sister in like the homecoming parade.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, at that time, nobody's car on a Barry had the band vehicle at that time, and maybe it was broke down. I was like, I'll drive. You know, I just got the Jeep. I was like, I'll drive it. Yeah, let's just all get in here. Yeah, that wasn't a good idea. Yeah, about halfway home, I'm about to fall asleep. Everybody's scrunched up in the back. You know, it's just like terrible. But we were just so excited to play a show. We didn't care how we got there. Like, get a U-Haul, put it behind my Jeep. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, what's your sister do? Because her two older brothers are, you know, country stars. What does she do?
She's a mom. She stays home with her two kids, and she's a mom, and she's an awesome mom, and raising a little boy and a little girl. And I have a brother that is doing as well. Has two little girls, so they really stayed home and they stayed close to home, and they're kind of doing the normal thing. And me and Scott decided to head off, chase the music dream. But yeah, we have some great family members back home.
We're chatting with Matt from Parmalee. Go check them out, ParmaleeMusic.com. They're going to be in Sheridan tonight at WyoJam. Go get your tickets at WyoJam.com. You love to fish, Matt. Have you fished in Wyoming or Montana?
No, but I cannot wait to go. I hope I have time. I don't know, but since we're flying in and flying out, I usually carry my fishing poles on the bus, but we got to fly to this one. I've got the whole rig set up. You know, I'm the guy that if there's a pond or a creek or a ditch, I'm going to go fishing in it. And I don't care how much people laugh at me or think I'm crazy. When I send them the pictures of the fish I just caught, everybody says, oh, you did catch some fish.
Yeah. I am decent at this.
I just like going, man. They say a day of fishing adds a day to your life, and I believe it 100%. I think that if you can get out there on the water, whether you're catching anything or not, it's just awesome.
Yeah. Do we do any fly fishing?
Yeah, a little bit. And I'm still learning. I'm not crafted it well, but I've done a little bit.
Blanco Brown, you guys do a song with him. It goes to #1. Did you ever imagine that song is going to go to #1?
You know, I never said it about any song until it does, because it's such a hard feat to do. But
yeah,
I mean, if you ask Blanco, he would have told you early on. There's even a video of him. He's that guy. But man, that's another crazy story how that all came about and how we met Blanco. And you know, Blanco was talking. Some guy had come in and taken over all of our record label. BMG Global bought it, and there's this new guy in there, and we're kind of, at that point in time, just not the shiny new object by any means at that point in time with the label. And anyway, we saw the new label owner talking to Blanco at an award show, and I was like, well, who's this guy? I want to know who he is. I mean, he might be he's talking to the head of the label company, you know? So Barry and I introduced ourselves and invited him to write if he wanted to write. And he did. He called us up. He said, I'm coming to Nashville. Let's get together. And I didn't know him. He didn't know us. But once we got out here and started talking about our musical influences and where we came from, we just hit it off and became friends. Then, you know, about a year later, the Get Up comes out and it explodes. And I'm like, oh, man, Blanco's killing it, you know.
Yeah, there's that guy.
There's that guy. But we kind of kept up. And I, you know, was kind of keeping up with him. And I dug what he did. It was like, oh, man, like that. Look at that. You know, and then all of a sudden that just took off. And we had Just the Way. I had written Just the Way in like 2018, and we had a couple of versions of it, but it just wasn't quite right. And we had just reconnected with our old producer at the time, and he's like, you know, the song's not right. Why don't you let me produce it? Why don't you get Blanco to get on and let me produce it? I'm like, all right. I called Blanco up. 2 days later, we're down in the studio in Atlanta. He's singing on it. First time we ever sang together like that. And then I'll never forget that ride home from Atlanta. I ain't gonna lie, I had a couple cocktails. I was kind of sleeping over there in the front of the truck with a producer, and he kept playing the song over and over and over. And I was like, stop playing these. I think we got something here. I don't want to hear it anymore. And turned it into the label, and next thing you know, they're blasting it down the halls, and it's just like, it's just amazing. And to see everything behind it, I mean, every night when we play that song, people light up. It's just a whole different, the message is global and universal, and I think that's what we needed at that point in time. We needed that in our career, and it's just a blessing that it all came together like that.
Yeah, just the way. It's an awesome song, and it's different Blanco song too. So it's it's different.
Yep.
But yeah, their second #1 single ever. You're starting Wyo Jam. You're kicking it off. It's the first ever Wyo Jam. Have you ever been to Sheridan, Wyoming?
I don't think so. We might have drove past it, but I don't think we played. No, it's been hundreds and hundreds of shows since we've done
yes, you
it.
guys have been everywhere. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But we don't get too many concerts around here, so this is a huge deal, and especially you guys starting this thing.
I'm excited. I will tell you guys this now: if everything goes as planned, we're gonna have a special guest come with us on stage that we've actually never performed with before, but I'm so excited I can't tell you. This is gonna be awesome, y'all. I'm here to tell you. It just happened. We got an email the other day, and out of the blue. So
wow. I don't even want to guess.
Everything's on go right now.
But I don't. Yeah, okay.
Everything's on go right now for this to happen. All I can say is iconic. That's all I can say. Iconic.
Wow.
The song we're gonna do is just massive. So that's all I can say.
You're gonna hear the Carolina story, and you're gonna get a special guest.
Yes.
Tonight with Parmalee.
Yes.
Go and get your tickets now. They're only $35, wyojam.com. Well, we can't wait to see you tonight. Thank you so much, Matt. Safe travels. Have a great time at the Opry tonight. It's Parmalee. Go see him tonight at Wyo Jam. Go get your tickets at wyojam, wyojam.com. Here's Girl in Mine. It's Parmalee. It's KIX 96.5.